Hello, my name is Terry Lane. I'm the president of Seaview Chromatography. We have developed a low-cost HPLC, which is available as an option as a portable instrument. Today, I'd like to describe a new configuration which has two detectors in series, a zinc detector and a mercury detector. Each has its own data system independently to plot the chromatogram. I'm going to go ahead and inject a sample so it can be running while we're talking. I'm going to push about half a milliliter through the injector valve. It's coming out here at the bottom line. We're filling a 5 microliter external loop on the injector. So I'm going to go ahead and inject. And now we're collecting chromatograms left and right. The reason we've developed this configuration is it's to serve as part of the international effort to eradicate malaria. It seems that in Africa and Asia, there are a very large supply of counterfeit drugs which are packaged the same and look the same, at least to the uninitiated eye, as the same legitimate drug. So this will be used as a part of that effort to identify and quantitate and confirm all in one analysis. The retention time provides the qualitative identification. The ratio of the two detectors' retention times and areas will give us both analysis and confirmation in one fell swoop. So we're now collecting chromatograms. On the left, if you see, there's the zinc 214 nanometer absorbance being plotted. And on the right is the mercury 214 and 254 nanometers. The 254 nanometer will, of course, give a lot bigger response for components with unsaturated bonds. Benzene rings, for example, give a very large response. Higher energy bonds will show up more on the 214 nanometer detector. So I will let you watch the chromatograms. The API comes out in about 4 minutes. I have both scales on the same. We're going from a -1 on the bottom to 18 on the top, which is an arbitrary scale, but I chose this to keep both peaks on scale and to allow you to see the great difference in the areas of the two. We're now coming up to the V0 on the first detector. You'll see a little blip there, and we may see a little blip on the mercury detector also. The sample is dissolved in the eluent, so we have a very small V0 effect. We have about another minute or so to wait for the chromatogram to come out. During this, I'll describe the hardware. The hardware consists of a syringe pump, which has a bolt driving a spring, which is compressed to a constant, in this case, 45 millimeters. At the beginning of the analysis, we set it at 45 millimeters. We allow the spring to decompress throughout the analysis, which follows Hooke's law of physics that as the compression, so the force. So we are not maintaining constant flow, but we do maintain repeatable flow with each analysis, allowing us retention time reproducibilities of approximately 6 seconds of peaks retained for 10 minutes. We're pushing on the back of a veterinary syringe, a 60 cc syringe. We're going through both the eluent and the sample are filtered through 0.45 micron filters. We have, again, as I mentioned earlier, a 6-port external loop valve with a 5 microliter loop. The loop load is back this way. The inject is rotated away from you. We're flowing through a millipore, an EMD millipore chromolith column. It's 50 millimeter by 4.6 millimeter diameter RP18E. So it is a reverse phase separation. On the left, you can see the chromatogram for the 214 nanometer absorbents, which is relatively small. And again, they're on the same scale. Over here, you see the absorbance being plotted on 254 nanometers. So we have probably a 5 to 10 times difference in the area of the two. We're not doing much in the form of chromatography because we're dealing with a pure material, and I'm dealing with a standard. So we only have the one peak to see. In the case of a counterfeit drug, you would simply have baseline, since the excipients would not have UV absorbance and they would not have a component to elute at this point. So consequently, we're able to measure the potency based upon a calibration of the API, and we're able to confirm the drug also by the ratio of the two areas. So that's our analysis. I hope you found this informative and valuable information. If you'd like to learn more about our product, you can visit our website at www.c-vuelc.com, or you can call me, Terry Lane, at 864-967-9525. Thank you very much for your attention.